Not sure if you were able to pick up on what you just saw here, but unfortunately with last year's Ebola outbreak in Africa, you just saw a visual experience of information relating to that outbreak, some statistics associated with, unfortunately, the toll on human life and the spread of that disease throughout different portions of Africa. What's important here, and the reason we showed this, is that we need to be able to quickly extract insightful information, but not only information, answers from content. Okay, that's the key to this last section. But to start that discussion, we have to step back and frankly ask ourselves some very fundamental and basic questions. Over many centuries, we've seen a progression in the production and use of maps. With that, we've also seen the underlying economy and technology associated with mapping change a lot. Looking forward and moving ahead, we need to ask ourselves one question: what is the map of the future? We believe the map of the future is not a map, because we need something more, something new. The mapping products produced today are static. They're not alive. They are a reflection of what was. And unfortunately, they do not easily give us answers. We need maps that are alive. We need maps that are fresh. The map of the futures not only tell us what was, but they need to tell us what is, they need to tell us what can be, and what will be. Our customers and partners have asked us for something different, something game-changing, but we can't do it alone. So we've worked with our partners and established some strategic relationships to help us define and ultimately build the map of the future.
Milton Keynes is a new city about 50 miles outside London, and it's the UK's fastest growing city and economy. As a council, we're trying to use new and innovative approaches to provide services that are more bespoke to the lives and interests of our citizens.
The Satellite Applications Catapult is a new type of innovation centre set up to accelerate the transfer of technology from the research sector into business.
It was established 2 years ago by the UK government, but it's a private company, so we also operate like a commercial business. And it is here entirely to benefit the sector.
So our job is to look at those needs that industry have, find the answers from emerging technology, help it through the readiness scales and get it into industry, to allow industry to address those markets.
And the Catapult to us is an enabler, it's an accelerator.
The space sector in the UK has been identified as an area that they want to grow.
And it's all about using space infrastructure and existing space assets in normal business use.
We saw the opportunity there because they in effect were looking for challenges to solve.
In the UK, there is an awful lot of pressures for central and local governments to reduce their budgets, but to continue to deliver services they've always had to, which means they have to find rather innovative ways to change the way they procure and then do their own work internally.
One of the key applications for us is the use of satellite data and combining that with other data to provide us with better utility and other insights into how we can perform better and deliver services in a more effective way. So for an example, some of the combinations of data involve looking at high resolution imagery of the city and having views about how it's growing, where new developments are happening.
They'd already engaged the Catapult to see if space could help. The Catapult then engaged with us. We looked at the problem, and in partnership with the Catapult, we provided support and technology which started to deliver real benefits, real value to Milton Keynes around the planning environment initially, to try and solve some key issues.
So the partnership we've built up here with Sterling Geo and Hexagon is exactly what we've been set up to do, and we're really excited about what we've already done and the potential for the future.
We're seeing a lot of other towns now looking at Milton Keynes and actually trying to change their ways and behaviours to adopt this approach as well.
Every time we show a satellite image from someone new from the council, they see something new. That, oh, I can see how this is going to help me do X, Y and Z.
I think what is important is that we're seeing a willingness by Hexagon to actually innovate, both in terms of technology itself, but then also how that technology is packaged and provided to companies like us who are trying to innovate on the basis of using it.
I think the cool thing that Hexagon are looking at is ways that individuals and organisations can access data, and there's a bunch of apps that are about to come in the marketplace which we're very excited about seeing.
If there are software packages that make our life easier in order to start the process of our data analytics, then so much the better for us.
What we're looking at is a culture change in public service delivery, and making ease of use is one of the key things that's going to make that happen, and I think that's a key differentiator of this technology as well.
In the next 5 years, the use of smart maps, that is how people will expect to absorb various data streams.
It's advancing incredibly quickly. Every moment, it seems, there is new thoughts, new ideas, new opportunities, and it's exemplified with the smart maps piece, which to me is the single biggest step in our industry and potentially for the application of geospatial data, I would say, in the last 20 years or so.
What we're essentially doing is aggregating people's demands and being able to use the Hexagon technology so that people can access the information that they need and answer the questions that they want answered.
So Hexagon have given us the most amazing box of Lego imaginable. And in that box, we have functionality, capability that we can use to create new workflows, new analytics. So we might come up with a new idea that we can use in the UK using the Lego box. Then the German distributor can use that, the Dutch distributor can use that, the Scandinavians can use that, they can put their own twist on it. That's absolutely fine.
This is a game changer. This is a revolution, not an evolution.
So this is a step change for us. This isn't just about small projects in 1 or 2 local authorities. This is about a big opportunity.
The Hexagon technology stack is extremely diverse. It's got a whole range of applications in there. And even though we are old hands at this, we feel, we're only just scratching the surface.
Working with partners such as those you've just seen has really opened our eyes and helped us define what the map of the future really is and needs to be. The map of the future has to reflect change as it happens, while providing information as a service that is relevant, current, and ultimately makes sense. The map of the future has to reflect not only what was, what is, what can be, and what will be. The map of the future has to be and must be smarter. It has to fuse content with software wrapped as a solution and then delivered as a service. The map of the future is a Hexagon smart map. At Hexagon, we are working on developing and providing a modern cloud-based platform for building and using the map of the future. I like that song, it makes me happy. Based on over 100 years of collective IP and mapping know-how, we have integrated and unified the key geospatial genres associated with GIS, remote sensing, photogrammetry, and cartography, all into one cloud-based geospatial application platform. This online experience is for you, our partners, and our customers to both design, develop, and ultimately market and sell purpose-built applications that deliver an information service. Based on the combined power of the producer, provider, and platform suite, we have harvested and cloud-enabled the capabilities within the Power portfolio to form the Map portfolio. The Map portfolio is what's used to produce smart maps. This includes 3 suites: the Map Foundation, which is the core geospatial engine technology operating on the cloud; the Map Studio, which is a graphical online workbench for stitching together workflows, geospatial analytics, business intelligence, and constructing and publishing that smart map. And then lastly, the Map Exchange, which is an online experience for publishing and ultimately selling and marketing your online Hexagon smart maps. I'd like to show you an example of a pretty cool smart map, but before I do that, let me give you some background and some context. We've been approached by many cities and counties and local governments around the world to provide a smarter mapping application that can regularly update and give them information about the changing landscape associated with green space and gray space. Green space is vegetation, grass, trees, etc. Gray space are roads, buildings, and so forth. Without understanding the rate of change, it's hard to impact that change. It's hard to understand the impact of that change when planning officials have to produce urban plans, zoning designations, establishing whether an agricultural or green space area can be rezoned to commercial, residential, etc. Left unmanaged, our cities and towns will no longer have any green space. This can negatively impact not only human development, but also personal property, infrastructure, etc. We built a smart map to help solve this problem and provide answers. Let's have a look at it. What you're seeing here is an online experience working together with Sterling Geo and Catapult for using what we call the Green Space Analyzer. And I want you to think about what's happening behind the scenes. You see a little ticker up there that gives you a percentage of gain or loss of green space over what area, over what administrative unit, and over what time period. That's information. But not only that, you can see the map is in the middle of that, but you don't necessarily need a map. The map is there to select areas that you're interested in getting information or answers about. But we've overlaid and integrated business intelligence that corresponds to analytics for providing that result. We've looked a lot about how people visualize change, everything from Yahoo Finance and how the stock market with tickers look at stock changes, all the way through bus schedules and how online experiences are providing information about change. Our goal is to give you the ability to envision and visualize information about our dynamically changing world through the establishment and use of Hexagon smart maps. It's not just a map. It's an app that delivers an information service, and in this case, it's green space information. You can see the ratio between green space and gray space dynamically changing as you select any component of this application. And it's all for you to customize. You're not stuck with a heavy GIS or a remote sensing package. We've fused those genres together to establish one unified platform on the cloud that allows you to connect to multiple data sources, pull those data sources in, establish an analytical recipe against them, tie to a business workflow, and ultimately communicated through business intelligence. It's the communication that is critical. The ability to communicate answers and information is what Hexagon Smart Map is all about. Our goal, our vision, and our mission is to transform the power of geography to the entire world. And our goal is to change the corresponding geospatial economy so that any user can build a smart map, but more importantly, use the information from a smart map to make wiser and ultimately smarter decisions. Over the next several months, you will be hearing a lot from Hexagon Geospatial regarding Hexagon Smart Map and all of the exciting other initiatives that I've presented today. If you're at this conference, right after this session, we have a dedicated session just on smart maps. Okay, so I would urge you to attend. If you're not at this event, which you should have been at, you can go online to smartmap.hexagongeospatial.com and sign up for our beta program and be part of this fearless experience. For our customers and partners, we will be conducting training courses this year, and you have the ability to sign on as a beta user and get trained on how to build and use and ultimately deploy smart maps. I'd like to take this opportunity to officially invite you to Hong Kong. And if you haven't been to Hong Kong, it's a really cool city. I would certainly like you to be there with us as we launch Smart Map and the Power Portfolio 16, and of course the Map Portfolio. It will be a great show, and I want you to be part of this fearless experience of change as we work towards making sense of our dynamically changing world. On that note, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and certainly look forward to working with you in the future as we change the geospatial economy and the overall industry. Thank you very much.